It sworn in at the 17th inaugural meeting of Paybush, Belmanier, Moorpark, Dodan Village Council. Dominica closer to implementing climate resilient projects, and government funds a facelift for the Casabru Secondary School. Thanks for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Tasia Floissac.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others coming up after this.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Welcome back. Dominica is one of 6 islands in the Caribbean region to benefit from funding in 2014 from the World Bank's Climate Investment Fund to undertake the pilot program for climate resilience. That program has been designed to combat climate change issues. Environment Minister Honorable Dr. Kenneth Daru informed GIS News that a disbursement of $2 million is expected by the first half of this year. The minister disclosed that a portion of that money will go towards establishing a project management unit to implement the climate change projects.
We would remember when we ran the list of $95 million that was available, that we spoke about an advance of $2 million US, equivalent to 5-point-something million EC dollars that was going to be made almost immediately available towards the setting up of what we call the project coordinating unit, and to prepare the project in the World Bank format for final disbursement of funds later down somewhere towards the middle of this year. So these I've been reliably informed that things are well underway for the transfer of the money to our coffers, so we can get this project management unit in place.
Minister Daru says 2 of the main positions at the project management unit are now being advertised.
You would have also heard the advertisements for 2 of the main positions within that unit, which would be the project coordinator and the procurement specialist. Of course, in the near future, more staff will be added, and we're looking at a maximum of probably 8 staff or more within that unit. Okay, but we are going to start off with a core staff of a procurement specialist and of course the overall project coordinator.
Honorable Daru also informed GIS News that a World Bank team is expected to visit Dominica this week to fine-tune plans to get the project management unit established.
We are in the process of recruiting 2 short-term specialists, an environmental specialist and a social analyst or expert. And what these people are going to be doing, of course, are going to be working together with the World Bank team to prepare the social analyst or expert. Of course, would do what we call community outreach, where they would probably go to the various areas that have been identified or earmarked for intervention, especially as it pertains to climate proofing some of these roads, and to assess the social impact of these projects. So all in all, as I say, we're right on cue with the advancement of the PPCR, and we are hoping that we can meet our deadlines, especially as it pertains to preparation of the project documents.
The government of Dominica is committed to aligning the pilot program for climate resilience interventions with ongoing national climate change adaptation and disaster risk management policies. Government will also ensure that all proposed activities under the pilot program for climate resilience are harmonized with existing adaptation disaster risk management initiatives.
In more news, 6 men and 2 women took their vows at the Paybush Primary School on Friday as the highlight of the 17th inaugural meeting of the Paybush, Belmanier, Moorpark, Dodan Village Council. The 8 councillors Bryson Williams, Lawrence Brumont, Josephine Massicott, Frampton Etienne, Annette Walter, Jeffrey St. Rose, and Michael Walter now form the village council under the leadership of Hubert Remy, who has been elected for a second term. A recurring theme throughout the ceremony was the area's sterling example in local government. District Development Officer for the North, Barbara Phillip, acknowledged the residents' interest in the system by the number of voters who turned out on election day. Honorable Reginald Austrie spoke to the ceremony as a representative of the Prime Minister, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. The Honorable Minister told residents and councillors alike that they should prioritize their endeavors, beginning with creating their own stable mini-economy within the area.
Yes, let's clean the drains, let's fix the walls and so on, that is fine. But I think we should move our governance of the community to a higher level, to a level of consciousness, to a level of education, to a level of debate. You need to engage the youths. You need to engage people in debates and discussions. So the new council of Peebush, you have a task on your hand. So that's what I'm saying to you. Things are tight, money hard to get. But let us use that period as an opportunity to be creative, to think. When the tough gets going, when the going gets tough, the tough have to get going. You have to begin to look inside of Peebush and find the resources that are necessary to do things in Peebush.
Honorable Austrie suggested focusing on agriculture and education as a foundation for this community economy. The village council presides over the community affairs of both Peebush and Dodan. Parliamentary representative for Peebush, Honorable Matthew Walter, told residents and the council that a change of mind is in order.
You are very instrumental in reshaping Peebush and Dodan. And if you do not change your mindsets, if you do not come to the realization that patriotism is very important, that dedication and commitment and loyalty for your community and your country, these are very important concepts that will contribute to the enhancement of our community and our country. I do not think that we are ready, and I do not think that the council will be able to achieve its objectives. Because I want to tell you today that the council carried it alone. The council cannot operate in isolation.
Honorable Walter said further that Dominica's system of local government is built on, quote, harnessing the social capital. Therefore, it is necessary for each individual to work selflessly for the good of all. For Dodan, Parliamentary Representative Honorable Ian Douglas spoke more of the purpose of a local government, which he emphasized is not about infrastructural development.
Local government is not only about building roads and building drains and building houses. Local government is about bringing the communities together. And I speak and I preach to the converted when I speak in Peebush and Dodan. Because Peebush, the community of Peebush, is one of the leading communities in Dominica as far as community solidarity and bringing people together is concerned. And that is clear. I speak without any fear of contradiction. And nobody can tell me I'm wrong when I stand in Peebush and say that Peebush is a shining example of bringing the communities together. So when I stand at a village council inauguration in Peebush, I don't want to hear about what the Parrep necessarily didn't do or what government necessarily didn't do, because local government is much more than that. Local government is bringing people together. Bringing people together not necessarily for village and community development as far as bricks and mortar and building roads is concerned, but bringing people together to take care of the community, social solidarity, taking care of much more than just infrastructure in the community, taking care of one another.
Beginning his second term as chairperson of that village council, Hubert Remy made a promise which will govern his decisions as a leader.
My endeavors and assignment as the chairman will not be impaired by partiality and favorism, and every stratum of the community will be given priority. The voice of of all will be heard, and inputs of everyone will be accepted as equally.
Remy highlighted the achievements of the last council, which he also led. Those included regular public meetings with the community, the installation of security measures at the Resource Center, a crossing at Des Rivières, and the commencement of paving at La Rivière Pier Road. The Pearbush Primary School students served as entertainment for the ceremony with a few renditions.
Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Love your ways, I love your ways. Hey, bush, oh a beautiful place, oh a beautiful place. Hanno bene asa, oh baby bruciati, Tafani abilite, no fai beautiful place. Johnny, Johnny, I celebrate. Let's move ahead, it's not too late. Let's move ahead, it's not too late. Let's move ahead, it's not too late.
The Pearbush, Belmanier, Moore Park, Dodan Village Council was first inaugurated in 1961.
Dominican women from all walks of life turned out in impressive numbers at the Cabrits last Saturday to participate in the 5th annual Phenomenal Women's Symposium. The event, which has evolved over the years to be a unique Caribbean event, is organized by VF Inc. in collaboration with the Bureau of Gender Affairs to empower women and inspire the realization of their full potential.
I just want to say that it is always a pleasure for us to collaborate with Dr. Henry and VF Inc. and really any really serious organization whose activities and programs reflect empowerment, improvement, development of women and men, since we are a Bureau of Gender Affairs.
Speakers at Saturday's symposium included Dominicans Mrs. Neva Edwards and Mrs. Olivia Douglas. They had an opportunity to share their life stories and experiences along with Rose Willock, renowned journalist of Montserrat, and Vincentian female politician Renee Baptiste. Rose Willock, in relating her life story, disclosed that her life has been affected by both tragedy and notable success. She said she has been guided by self-awareness and her willingness to succeed.
There is a Freudian philosophy that promotes the belief that whatever happens to you as a child shapes your character and personality and basically governs your whole life, that the limits and parameters of your life are set, and that basically you can't do much about it. But there is also a school of thought that promotes the view that even though your environment may have a controlling effect on you, your basic identity remains intact, thereby making it possible for you to decide within yourself how life's experiences and your environment is going to affect you. You have the freedom and the power to choose that response. Self-awareness is a main component to making this happen in a positive and empowering way. Put another way, the fundamental principle about the nature of humankind worth remembering is that between stimulus and response, each person, each individual has the freedom to choose.
Parliamentary representative for the Portsmouth constituency, Honorable Ian Douglas, also addressed the Women's Symposium. He congratulated the organizers of the event and said women have and will continue to have an integral role to play in Dominica's development. He cited a few sterling examples, such as the late Dame Mary Eugenia Charles.
In Dominica, I believe we are a budding young nation on the cusp of our development, and women have a very integral role to play in that development. And we have great examples of women who have gone before. Dame Eugenia Charles has stood out not only in Dominica, not only regionally, but internationally. And she has left a legacy for not only women in politics, but women all over the Caribbean and the rest of the world to follow in her footsteps.
Honorable Douglas called on organizers to document the Women's Symposium for future reference.
I think, Dr. Henry, what you must do now is catalog the 5 years, because there are a lot of messages that have been delivered, and there's a lot for not only the women present to take away with them, but also women in the future. We have a lot of young women coming up in Dominica and in the Caribbean who are searching to find themselves, searching to find their place. What is their role in life? What is their purpose? And I believe that all of the messages that have been delivered here over the 5 years really can serve as a guide, as an inspiration to not only up-and-coming young women, but from time to time in our own struggles as women, as homemakers, as professional women, in whatever sphere of activity we are. Those stories, in fact, are inspirational and will give us strength and motivation to continue.
The event was held under the theme, "What you conceive, you can achieve, because God has the power to deliver what He promises." To complement the Women's Symposium, a Men's Symposium has been planned by VF Inc. for November 15, 2014.
And GIS News went on tour with Parliamentary Representative for the Castle Bruce constituency, Honorable Johnson Drago, last Thursday, where one of the major developments in the Castle Bruce constituency is a facelift for the Castle Bruce Secondary School. Government has seen to it that the educational needs of the Castle Bruce Secondary School students are being met through an ongoing renovation project at the school. The institution, built in 1998, was the first secondary school in the Eastern District. Currently, it accommodates 430 students. According to project contractor Kerrville St. Louis, work began on September 25th last year and is now on its final phase of completion.
Well, we have been painting, power washing, now we're doing the fencing. We have 2 houses down there, we have to do a lot of work in it, because it's been quite a while I haven't painted. So
St. Louis said that he, along with a team of 25 young individuals, have been working diligently to improve the conditions of the school and are satisfied with the results thus far. Honorable Johnson Drago, present on site, provided GIS with insight on funding for such a project.
The school, which was built some 15 years ago, needed major renovation, and we are happy that government has invested well over 300,000 into renovation of the fencing, proper repainting, replacement of walls, replacement of guardrails, the power washing where necessary of the school, just overall development of the school, enhancing the learning environment for the students of the Castle Bruce Secondary School.
The Honorable Minister further expressed his satisfaction and applauded government's initiative to improve the living standards of the school body.
I am also very satisfied with the quality of work being done. As you can see, the painting look good, the school look like a new school again, and so on. So I really want to thank government for really making this direct investment into the education of the children of the East.
Deputy Principal of the Castle Bruce Secondary School, Harrod in Scotland, voiced the importance of what he considers a long overdue project to the students and faculty.
The work is still ongoing, but I am hoping that it would improve the aesthetic value of the building, and it will impact the learning, because good environment impacts the students' learning. So that I hope would be the main feature which would happen after the school is fully renovated.
Contractor Kerville St. Louis informed that he expects to be complete by mid-February. It is hoped that the newly renovated school will make a difference in the lives of the Castlebrook secondary students. GIS will bring you more information on other developments in the Castlebrook constituency in a subsequent newscast. Tasia, Floissac and I were both on site last Thursday where we witnessed the ongoing project at the Castlebrook Secondary School, and I must admit that the school looked like it did in 1998 when it was constructed.
Well, I do agree, Jarna. When we went there, all the students were playing in the yard and they were very happy to share their delight with us of what was going on at the school. According to the contractor, Mr. St. Louis, he said that they did some painting. We saw that. They were doing some fencing when we got there. They had just finished doing some power washing, and they also renewed some of the washroom facilities at the school.
Quite an expansive project. He also mentioned that 25 young people working with him, which is kind of it seems like a big job, and a lot of people being employed, which is good.
Yes, that's very good, and I must say, I think that they accomplished a lot in such a short space of time. He said that they were working, I guess, sometime after September, but they faced some challenges with recent inclement weather, and they were able to do quite a bit of work. When we went there, they were on the final stage of fencing, and they were broken up in groups for employment. So some were doing fencing, some were power washing. So I think it's a very good initiative that the government took, to get so many people involved in that kind of project.
Good point. Speaking of government, it also says that it's not just about sending people overseas to study. It also says that government is taking a more dynamic interest in education. I mean, power washing and washrooms and landscaping, that's good too. So this is a nice story, I think.
Definitely. And the students are very happy. I think that's the main focus, government contributing to the educational development of its students. And if I remember clearly, even the workers who were there at the site were past students. A few of them were past students of the institution and members of the community. So it also shows that, that they're giving back, they're contributing to their alma mater.
Good stuff. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle Creole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, Banque la Terre a fait provision financière projet qui est bien nécessaire pour combattre le changement climatique. Parole ça là, sorti du ministre Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow. Sinon, Honorable Darrow, gouvernement a établi un unit qui contient responsabilité pour ça.
Nous parlons pour recevoir pour $100 million or World Bank every lot institution finance pour nous recommander ça essayer pour tackle pour combattre climate change. Well, ça qui fait depuis dernière press conference là c'est ou peut-être un advertisement pour ce job là pour nous commencer unit là. Yo avisé moi que tout bagaille c'est pour nous pour recevoir premier $5 million ici. Et bien ça c'est pour nous commencer unit là, pour nous finance unit là, pour nous engager monde pour préparer ces estimates là, pour préparer ces design là, pour ces projets là nous identifier pour intervention pour en project ça là. So déjà applications administrators a received Apache applications. Every tout de suite a team cal assise every interview ces monde ça là. Nous a commencé avec deux monde, ça c'est un coordinateur pour oversee generally unit là, un procurement specialist. Now nous essayer, nous also espérer que Siemens ka vini a lot team World Bank là ka vie descend pour yo parler avec deux monde nous ka l'engager mais coup ça là c'est pour short term pour 6 à 7 semaines. Ça c'est un monde qui spécialisé en environ avec butin social. So ça yo kal fait yo kal me joindre avec team World Bank ça là pour nous voir comment ces projets là no qui approuve comment yo kal impact on les community from a point of view environ avec social.
En autre nouvelle, inauguration pour village council Pébouche d'Oudan prend place vendredi semaine passée. 6 noms et puis 2 femmes sémantés comme membres council salam. Minister Kai, Honorable Reginald Austri, représenté Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, ensemble et puis membre parlement Honorable Matthew Walter et membre parlement pour Dodan Honorable Ian Douglas, tout délivré l'adresse en cérémonie. Honorable Austri a ce compte gouvernement complimenté Council 9 là.
Je crois que c'est 8 personnes là qui ont représenté le Council là, c'est 8 personnes qui sont bien solides. Et je crois que pour attendre ça là, pour leadership, c'est un bagage qui est bien difficile. Même dans l'église, en youth group, en scout, c'est un bagage bien difficile. Mais là, pour lead un environnement politique, comme local government ou central government, c'est bien difficile. Comment dire, les gens qui critiquent, parmi les ça, ils font toujours des gens qui critiquent, mais ce n'est pas pour faire ça, faire changer les pour resign. C'est comme ça, la ville, les gens qui critiquent, mais depuis que vous savez qu'il y a conscience, vous pouvez faire un bon travail pour continuer à faire travail ça là ça. Et moi je dis, Pébouche est toujours un bon conseil, Pébouche est chef en coup de main, Pébouche est chef en qualité. Et moi je crois que conseil ça qui fait bien bon.
Monsieur Hubert Ray, Monsieur Chairman, neuf pour conseil ça. En autre nouvelle, travail rénovation à l'école secondaire Casse Bruce cap en place. Parole celle-là sorti dans le Parlement, Honorable Johnson Drago.
Depuis l'année passée, le gouvernement a fait un commitment pour faire rénovation à l'école Casse Bruce. Comme nous avons parlé, le gouvernement a dépensé plus de $300,000 en l'école Casse Bruce. Nous avons peinturé l'école là, nous avons rangé fence là, nous avons rangé sous line, nous avons rangé ces grilles là, ces enfants qui marcher pour pas dangereux quoi yo power wash là qui était supposé power wash à l'école là, nous avons rangé l'électricité à l'école là, nous avons l'école là ça a créé un facelift en anglais. Et ben nous content qui on le jeunesse qui travaille et puis à point de travail en area ça.
Finalement, Discover Dominic Authority a continué discussion et puis carnaval pour vivre mettre Dominic à ses destinations ailleurs. Parole celle-là sur le chairman Discover Dominic Authority, M. Benoît Badwell.
Nous avons discuté avec eux, avec en 2-3 jours, moi-même qui a joint en réunion avec Carnival, nous avons parlé parce qu'il y a 2-3 chefs en Carnival. So, nous avons continué la discussion. Parler au carnaval parce que nous savons ça c'est un bateau qui est important en affaires cause business là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson. Au revoir.
Coming up is the tip of the day.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your government information service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
Personality can open doors, but only character can keep them open. A strong character gives you the courage to admit your own faults and weaknesses, and it also provides you the strength to keep a foothold when the tide turns against you.
Here's a tip on how to strengthen your character. Establish your standard, aim high and keep trying. If you think you're failing, just don't give up. Also, become an expert at saying the word no. It's okay to say no. No one has a right to push you to do things that you should not be doing. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Tasia Floissac.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Thank you for watching.